was already there.
Yeah.
And that was an amazing experience. And then...
Sorry, when you say midwives, how many?
I had two. I had two midwives,
okay.
yes, yeah. And then I got divorced, and with my second husband, he also has 2 children, and they were both emergency Caesar. And so when I'd said to him that I'd like to have a home birth, he was like, no, I don't think so. And I said to him, well, can we compromise, because it's definitely something I want to do naturally, and I want you to meet the midwives first and just see how they are, and maybe you'll feel a bit more at ease, because he was very, very nervous about having a natural childbirth. And we went to Genesis, and it was absolutely amazing. He was very happy that there was a theatre there, just in case.
Yes.
And I was just happy that he was just a bit more calm. And once he started seeing the midwives, he actually realized that he was actually nervous. He shouldn't have been nervous. And we had a wonderful experience, and I did do a water birth this time round, and it was amazing. I think if I'd been able to do the other 2 births again, although that they were perfect and amazing, I would have opted to do a water birth. It was really an awesome experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it was great chatting to you, unless if you still have other questions.
I can't think of anything else right now. I've learned a lot just chatting to these ladies, so yeah, thank you. It was great to be here.
In South Africa, we experience an increase of children dying in swimming pools or drowning. What's your take on that?
I think it's so difficult because you want to protect your child, but you also can't smother the child and not let them do anything. So I think the best we can do as parents is to make the pool area as safe as possible, so that if they do wander around there and they fall, there's no way that they can drown, you know. And there are ways to do that. You know, you've got nowadays there's all kinds of stuff you can do. We have a pool at home, and that I know I have a big responsibility to make as safe as possible, and I'm going to try to do that. And then I think the other thing you can do is just as soon as you can, and the child is ready, try to teach them how to swim.
Let's have fun with the toddlers as they enjoy their swimming lessons.
Soon after birth, we can show you the best way to bath your baby, lying right back in the water, ears in the water, just feeling their buoyancy in the water. The Aquatots program starts officially in our swimming pools at ages of 6 months. While they are not walking, we do a lot of back floating. And when they become more toddlers, then we do a lot of more upright exercises in the water, a lot of returning to the side.
I think that you're going to naturally bath a baby when they're very, very young, and I think that's part of the introduction to water, so that when they're in the bath, you spend a little bit of time, let them play in the water, let them experience the water. And I think this is a very good introduction, so that when you want to start taking your child to swimming lessons, it's not a big deal.
In the Aquatots program, we're a child-centered program. We make it fun for children. A parent or a caregiver is in the water with their child, so when they're going through those phases of separation anxiety, they'll be with their parent or their caregiver, and it'll make their swimming a lot easier. We focused first and foremost on safety, so we show the parent to teach their child how to climb in backwards into a pool. It's the safest way to approach the pool, how to hold onto the side of the pool. We encourage parents to be free in the water, and if their child stumbles and falls underwater, to allow them to go under and then pick up and encourage and clap hands, thereby teaching their child that if they step off the steps, they're going to go right under, but that having water over their face is not a bad thing. We're a specialized program, and our exercises and routines are designed to teach the parents the best way to show their children how to respect the water, and eventually how to learn to swim.
There's huge physical and emotional benefits to swimming, and you'll often talk to people once they've achieved the ability to swim, they feel fantastic about it. So it's really good for them. It's a very good form of exercise. It's exercising all your body. The buoyancy of water is fantastic from that perspective. If you swim a lot, and a lot of kids that do competitive swimming feel fantastic about it because they're releasing endorphins just like adults do when they swim a lot.
The most important thing is that the parents and caregivers are vigilant around pools. Pools have to have nets on it, fences, and you have to be watching them all the time. That is the most important thing. Then following that, you need to ensure that your child is happy to have water on its face, to be low down in the water, is aware of its limitations around water, and to start them swimming from a young age so that we can have them able to get back to the side of the pool around the age of 3. The highest rate of drowning is around the age of 3 and a meter away from the side of the pool. So a lot of our classes for the toddlers, we do exercises where we teach them to return to the side of the pool.
My mom 5. She was by the beach somewhere.
A premature baby needs to weigh just 259 grams in order to survive. With today's advances in medical and scientific technology, more and more premature babies are surviving and growing up to be healthy and happy toddlers. Today we speak to Dr. David Richard from the NICU at Sentin Mediclinic.
Too early is probably around about 25 weeks. Anything 25 or less has a real risk of major complications and long-term problems. From 26 weeks on, we surely will try as best we can. A lot depends upon the baby, and the boundaries have been shifted lower and lower. We don't go as low as the United States centers where they try for 23 weeks, which is really not on. There's a high risk to the baby of brain damage and of long-term problems. Well prepared though, when they've had steroids beforehand, when you've been to your gynae, when you've actually had a good nutrition and the pregnancy has gone well. When the baby's expected early, they really do a lot better than they used to do, and our newer techniques give them a good chance even at 26 plus weeks. To not resuscitate a baby is a big decision, and we would only do it in extremes where the baby obviously has a problem that is unsustainable, a cardiac problem that can't be operated on, where the baby has had a major bleed into the brain where it's going to be damaged in the long term. We make those decisions very seldom, and of course we will always give the baby a chance, see how the baby performs, but we would not resuscitate where the long-term prognosis is poor, when the outcome is going to be dangerous for the baby will be damaged and unable to lead a normal life. We get them involved to the greatest level that we can. A lot depends upon how sick that child is. And if the child is not too ill, we will get them involved maximally to start with. So if the baby comes out and is well, we'll get the baby onto the mom's chest for a while. We'll get her to express milk. This is very important. We use that milk, even if it's via nasogastric tubes. That helps. They're allowed to touch the babies. They're allowed to really be involved. They come into the unit as and when they want. And if we've been warned before, we'll get them into the unit, know where they're going to, and know that this is an extension of their home. Premature babies can only be breastfed when they're really quite mature. So generally, as they start out, we won't be able to breastfeed them. We will encourage mom again to express that milk that she's got. We'll use that to the baby via nasogastric tube feeds. We'll try and get them to try the baby on the nipple as soon as possible. And that, again, helps bonding, helps stimulation of the milk flow. But mom will generally express and will generally use that milk for the baby. But we do allow nibbles on the nipple as soon as possible. And that's sometimes way ahead of when they really are ready to suck. The best thing is to visit the unit beforehand. We have a sister in charge here who's fantastic, and with her team they'll take them around the unit, show them other babies who are going through the same experiences they're likely to have. That way it's not a foreign land. It's also true that if they've gone to a gynae who is expecting the premature baby, they'll have been warned about the likely weight and the fact that the baby will be in need of ventilation or not. The pediatrician as well can meet them beforehand, show them what we're allowed to do and what we're going to do to the babies to help mature the lungs up, to make sure that they in fact go through this experience without being too afraid, and also knowing where they're going to. Preparation is made easy by a visit to the unit, by meeting with the pediatrician, by the gynae preparing the baby, and also knowing that all of this limits the risk to the baby. It becomes more difficult when it's a sudden unexpected delivery, and of course then you have to spend a little bit more time bringing them around, showing them what's going on, and reassuring them that things are going better or worse as it happens.
Next week, we find out about paranoid parenting and discuss the challenges of being a parent to a special needs child. Bye for now.